Hello everyone, it's Nova and I'm going to show you today my 10 most used decks in 2023. My friend Julia has created a tag actually, which is called my 10 most used decks in 2023. Maybe you have seen her previous tag, which was my most neglected decks of 2023, which I have made a VR to that one as well. And this one is also a very good one. This one is an interesting one. And I'm going to search this tag on YouTube because I want to see how many people make this tag. It is very interesting for me to see what was the most used decks of everyone. Because we are all, most tarot tubers are tarot addicts, let's be real. I think it is very interesting. It is very useful even to see what they use the most and what was the reason. Anyways, let me start with my own video. I'm already curious about other people's video. Make sure you watch Julia's video. That one is very insightful. Mine, I don't know if it's going to be that insightful or not. I had quite a difficult year. And now that I'm looking at my decks, most of my decks are light energy, feel good decks because that's what I needed, with a few exceptions. Okay, starting with this one. First of all, this beautiful metal box is from IKEA. It comes actually in a bigger box, so it's like this box and a bigger box, and together they were like €5. So in this box I have put my Tsar, the Golden Tsar Tarot. This deck is one of my favorites of all time. Golden Tarot of the Tsar is the name of it, by Los Carabello. I'm quite sure that you can still buy this on Amazon. I bought it like 6 years ago, I think. So these are the gorgeous backs. I have etched it. I use this deck often because I am very familiar with it. And it is something between pip and illustrated, because you have illustrations in the pips, which makes my readings very rich. If you have not tried decks like that, try them, because it's like you're getting the best of both worlds. You can read numerologically and elementally at the same time. You have images to look at, so it's like intuitive as well. And let me know if you have tried this type of reading that I'm talking about, because it's really cool. And of course it helps develop your tarot knowledge and skills. And I love the way this deck looks. I love the way this deck shuffles and feels in my hands. Of course it is a Marseille based deck, so you can read with it as if you are reading a Marseille deck. This is the Fool. You see how gorgeous it is? And this deck is very inexpensive, like I think like €25. And I did not trim this deck because I think it looks cool with these words on the side. Usually I trim these type of things, but with this deck I like it. There is a lot of information on this deck and I like that. I want to keep all of it. It's just a very special deck and it is home to me. I have used it for years. So it's a very clear reader for me. And it was on my desk in that metal box that I showed you. Very easy to use. And this is my number 10, because this is a countdown. So this was my number 10 in my most used decks. Number 9 is Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle Cards, a 44 card deck and guidebook. This is a very simple mass market deck by Hay House. And I really like everything about this deck. I love its color palette. It's very warm. and earthy. I've edged it in orange. These are the gorgeous bags. I love this orange color. I love all tones of orange. And this is a gods and goddess deck, basically. I'm not going to show you all the cards. I just want to show you the earthy tones. Earthy tones makes me feel cozy and safe. I mean, not only me, makes everyone feel cozy and safe. Most people at least, right? Look at Bridget, how beautiful. And you have many gods and goddesses, 44, from all over the world. This one is Imhotep, visionary. So beautiful. And I have used this deck during 2023, maybe something like, let's say, 3 times, 4 times a month. And that's quite a lot for me. And I always open the guidebook and read the message. Look at Mother Mary. So this one was number 9. The guidebook is really good. You see, for Athena, you get 2 full pages, 2.5. For each card, you get 2.5 pages. And it has additional meanings, invocation, and the message, the story, and the myth about these gods and goddesses. Here you have Baba Yaga, patience. So this deck made me feel warm and cozy and safe. I had a rough year. I mean, I had a very busy year. Not only busy and hectic, but also sometimes very stressful. I can deal with anxiety quite well, but I am a fire sign. And in general, it is not easy for me to stay calm all the time. Okay, the number 8. Archangel Animal Oracle cards, a 44 card deck and guidebook. Again, a Hay House production. This one is by Diana Cooper. The other one, The Goddesses, Gods and Guardians, was created by Sophie Bashford and Hilary Wilson. So this one is by Diana Cooper. This is a feel-good deck for me. I have edged it. This is one of my top feel-good decks. Everything about these cards. It's like a hug. It's a hug deck. The glossiness of the cards, the thickness, you know, it reminds me of the old style oracle cards. The size and the glossiness and the thickness. And these animals, the colors, the messages. And you have angel energy and animal energy. Owl, listen to the messages of the angels. Archangel Bokpi. Parrot, listen intently to understand. Archangel Bokpi. Archangel Bokpi is for birds. Hyena, dare to be different. Archangel Jophiel. Badger, bring your life into balance. Archangel Mary and Sandalphon. So these beautiful animals, these cards are just very high frequency. Like, they really help me feel connected with animal spirit. I just really love these cards. I cannot even explain. I'm trying to rationalize it, why I'm so crazy about this deck, because I really am. Ever since I bought it, from the moment I had this deck in my hands, I loved it so much. I have used it so many times, and the guidebook is amazing too. She really makes you appreciate animals even more. I mean, for me, it's not even possible any more than how I already feel about animals, but it's just really good. So this was my number 8. Number 7 is Mystical Forest Tarot Cards, edited by Cecilia Latari, illustrations by Wes Gama. This deck was published by Andrews Macmill Publishing. Amazing box. This is a mass market deck. I bought it this summer. The moment it came out, I had pre-ordered it actually. The box quality is amazing. The cardstock is good, it's okay. They're quite large, like this much bigger than your standard RWS. And this is a simple deck. I have edged it. This is a simple deck, but it made me so happy. I just really loved it. I love its color palette. I love this South American environment and vibes. Everyone's skin is dark orange. There are a lot of animals in this deck. And you have nature, you have the sky, you have the desert, you have the animals. It's vibrant colors, very exotic, sunny. Love all these beautiful colors too. Look how cool this High Priestess is. I used it a lot. Although I've had it only a few months of summer, the whole summer I worked with it. Like I have worked with this deck something around maybe 70 times, 80 times. And I have paired it with so many other decks. And some of my pairings are on my Instagram. Nova_Luna_Tarot. If you go to my Instagram and go back to the summertime, you will see a few very interesting pairings with this deck. The guidebook is not good. The guidebook doesn't even tell you what these animals are and why are they here. What is the connection? Why you chose this animal for 4 of Wands? And we all like to have that information, right? We all appreciate when that type of information is given in a guidebook. What is happening and why you chose this particular animal. So the guidebook, although it is beautiful and colorful, but it lacks essential information, in my opinion. Still loved it, used it, and I'm going to use it again for sure. Next year. It is very summery though, I cannot use it now. Alright, so we have now the Lubanko Tarot. This deck is dark, but I did use it because it surprises me. These are the gorgeous backs. This is a very unique deck. I love how it looks in a spread. It looks amazing in a spread. It's really cool. It gives me really interesting messages. The readings are always very unique. And because I received this deck as a gift, it is even more dear to me. I received it from a dear friend, and I was completely surprised because I did not know about this deck. It's not like it was on my wish list. I was not aware of this deck. Maybe I had seen it, but I had not paid that much attention to it. And then I was so surprised that, wow, this deck really was supposed to come to me because I have such a unique connection with it. I have it for like 2 years now. So the first year I received it, I worked with it quite a lot, and also last year, many times. I also have some pairings with this deck on my Instagram. I always use this deck during fall and winter, mostly fall. I use my decks very seasonally, most of them. I mean, if they have a seasonal vibe, then that vibe definitely affects me. It is, for me, it is really hard to use a summer deck during winter and an autumn deck during spring, and vice versa. I usually don't put anything here. I think for you guys it is nicer to have some flowers and stuff here, some decoration. But for me, while I'm putting cards down and filming and stuff, of course it is easier to have it all clear. Anyways, I was just trying to make it a bit festive. I hope I succeeded. Okay, next. Number 5 and 4. I received the Jean Noblet and Jean Dodal, both from letarot.com. They are both Jean-Claude Flornois restorations. And boy, I fell so hard for these two decks. And I have a side-by-side comparison of them, which I will put in the description box for you guys. And I love them so much that I have added color to both of them. To the Jean Dodal, I have added this purpley aubergine color. And to my Noblet, I've added this pinkish color. The older versions of this deck by Jean-Claude Flornois are pink, like they have a lot of pink, even more than what I have put here. But the newer versions don't. And I prefer the pink. Okay, let me show you now, just starting with this one. They are in order. I worked with them a lot, but then I put them back in order because I do a lot of side-by-side comparisons between my decks, and even sometimes I make a video of that. I actually have a playlist in my channel, side-by-side comparisons, because I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy watching it, and it is it's like a study as well. You definitely learn a lot, not only from comparing Marseille decks with each other, but any type of decks. And I'm planning to make more of that type of video, the comparison videos. Look how beautiful it is, and I love the size of it. I love the tactile experience of these cards. It's so good. So this was the Jean Noblet. And then the Jean Dodal, which is a larger deck. It's so good. What do you think about my mod? I really like it because I like the look of, I like the hand-painted look, especially on older decks like Marseille decks. And also I think this aubergine purple color goes really well. It's so good. This deck is so good. And these type of decks, I mean, half joy is holding it in your hands, of course. It's not just visual. I love her. It makes me so happy. Number 3, Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. And you most probably know this deck. If you don't have this deck, I seriously don't know what you're doing. I mean, come on. I do not understand people who have not got this deck yet. These are the gorgeous bags. Just look, just pay attention. And I have edged it. If you do not read Animal Tarot, or you don't like the anthropomorphian looks or energies, I want to say I understand, but I don't understand. I really don't. I mean, I don't understand why still you would not fall in love with this deck, and I really don't want to be pushing people to buy decks. That is not my intention here at all. This is just, I'm just wondering how someone cannot fall with these images. That's all I'm asking. Look. Look how cool, just how cool this deck is. And the tactile experience as well. The cards are so matte, extremely matte, and kind of papery, but in a really good way. The color scheme, oof, look, it's a cheeky deck, doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's exactly what I needed this year. It's so good. Also, just lay down. It's so good. And it's a powerful reader. I mean, it communicates very well, gives you messages, very easy to read. I enjoyed this deck so much this last year. And number 2. Number 2 is the Serpent and the Peacock Art Edition. I don't keep the cards in here because it is too tight. And I don't want to damage my cards every time I put them in and take them out. So this guidebook is a gem. All these paintings, I mean the cards, are old paintings collaged together to create the scenery for each card, to create each tarot archetype. And the guidebook is amazing. It tells you what the name of the painting is. So here it says art is by Christine de Pizan, and the name of the painting is Epistles of Othea. Date is 1404, 1408. And then it gives you keywords, and then it talks about the card and what is exactly happening in the card in such a beautiful and interesting way. So just reading this guidebook is a pleasure. And I had this guidebook on my coffee table downstairs for months. I think I can tell you that I have read the whole book. Not only that, I have also played with the cards so many times because it's a pleasure. So I keep it in this pouch. This pouch did not come with the deck, I think. I'm quite sure. So these are the gorgeous bags, and it comes gilded. The cardstock is so good, so high quality. Matte, sturdy, but shuffleable, not too thin, not too thick. This is perfect cardstock. I have done many readings with this deck. I have played with the deck. I have paired it with so many other tarot and oracle decks. I have been busy with this deck ever since I received it. It's like I cannot forget about it. It's always in the back of my mind. I even sometimes dream about it. It's that good. It's so good. I'm so happy with this deck. I bought it really expensive because I had to pay like $65 or $70 US dollars for shipping and import taxes. And then afterwards I found out that if I had ordered it through Etsy and not through the creator's website, I did not have to pay the $30 import taxes. I did not know that. Number 1 is Oracle of Ascendance by Philip J. Adamsick and Sherry Jo Posselt, and I apologize if I butchered your names. Probably I did. So I've shown you this deck a few times already in my other videos. This is about symbols, and you have different categories. I have color coded the categories with these colored edgings. So like all the purples, these purples are a certain category, and the green ones and the yellow ones. Anyways, so you have here the Sephiroth, here you have Yesod, Halil, Pisces, you have the zodiac signs, root chakra, you have the chakra systems, zodiacs again, element of spirit, Uranus, so you have the planets, and then you have Reiki symbols, Kundalini, Chokurei, pentagram, you have star symbols. This deck is very versatile. I paired it with so many other decks. It works and pairs with every deck under the sun. That's one reason I used it so many times. Also, I wanted to learn more, and I just wanted to learn more about these symbols, so I read the guidebook. Every time I pulled the card, I read the guidebook, and it added to my reading so much. Sometimes I just pulled one card and read the guidebook, sometimes in a reading with other decks. But this little guidebook is so good. So let me tell you what the categories are. You have 7 categories: the ancient symbols, the chakra symbols, the elemental symbols, the planetary symbols, Reiki and elemental trinity healing symbols, star symbols, and zodiac symbols. So I use this deck the most, I think. I'm quite sure. This is a mass market deck by US Game Systems, and it has 72 cards. It's awesome. I definitely recommend this one. Okay guys, this was my video. Thank you Julia for creating these 2 amazing tags, this one and the previous one, the most neglected decks of 2023. Please check her channel. I will put a link to her video in my description box, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.